For design tips and tricks, I just want to show you a couple things about this kitchen that's unique. There's about probably 10 or 15% of the population that has a corner angle sink, and a corner angle sink is definitely not the norm. So looking here, this is a shooter kitchen that we've just finished, and so this is a corner angle sink, double tub, 31 by 19 or so is the double tub sink. But do you see how wide this rail is? Now your typical width of your rail is only about 2 1/4, 2 1/2 inches to the opening. It's wider because you have to use a corner angle sink. Well, if your customer's not expecting that, they're not going to know to look for it. They're going to get the countertop, they're going to say, hey, why is my sink so far back? So that's one thing to consider with a corner angle sink that's not the norm, okay? The second thing is that this is actually a corner angle sink base. It comes as a diamond shape. It has a complete top in it. And then there's a corner single angle front. And a corner single angle front is just the piece of wood in the doors. And we have to build in a floor, we have to build in the walls. It's a lot more labor in that one. So this corner single cabinet, single front cabinet angle is actually the best way to go when you're doing this. It works out mathematically best. Now a couple of things that Schuler does, they have some double top drawers and single bottom doors like this. A couple other things this customer got was some of the tiered cutlery dividers, so I guess. But a couple things I want to show you on the molding treatments. Here on the ends, these are applied door panels versus a factory built panel where it's actually made in. Applied panels, if you can see, they actually look really symmetrical to the face. Where a built-in panel where it's made part of the end of the cabinet, that is going to be flush on the end. So you have a totally different look from applied panels to flush or built-in construction panels. And then the other thing I want to show you is here, this is a good example of a riser molding, which is a starter trim, but because this is an over 8-foot run and your molding comes in an 8-foot, because this is over 8 foot, we stop the cut at the edge of the cabinet, we jog it 3/4 of an inch, we run across 30 and we jog it back 3/4 of an inch. And it creates this nice little pediment area right above the stove, gives it a nice focal point, ties in to the look of the depth of the refrigerator. Now look at this. This is 18 inches deep, not 24 inches deep. So there's no end panel required. And you have that same nice jog look that you have above the stove area. So from what was originally just a straight run, 12-inch deep cabinets with no aesthetic appearance to it at all, now you have quite a bit of aesthetic appearance to it, and there really was not a lot of cost. There's really not a lot of cost in this difference. In fact, the only cost would be the increased depth of this cabinet. That's it. Everything else is just a molding application. And the other thing I want to show you is like the light rail here. This light rail is on a standard overlay cabinet, so you can see that there's a gap. The pull on this is about 1 inch to the face. From here to the front's about 1 inch. But you notice how we have to return that. Well, when you have a return, what's that? A hinge restrictor. So you gotta have hinge restrictors, come over here on this side. You gotta have hinge restrictors to keep that from beating the face of the door as you open and close it. And again, this wouldn't be possible, this return wouldn't be possible if this wasn't a standard overlay door. I'm trying to show you these things because a lot of people think full overlay is the only way to go. Well, standard overlay has its place, and as you can see, it looks really nice with the right molding and treatments and the right decoration and style. One more thing to show you here on the bottom. This is a dishwasher end panel, but we've applied the door to it just the same as we did the door above, and you have a continuous look top to bottom. Other questions about this, you can give me a call at 423-650-1051. Thanks for taking a look at tips and tricks.